What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Mike Sage and Calvin Diggs of Garage Door Service Company. Mike and Calvin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Rich. Happy to be here, man.
We get to talk garage doors today. More specifically, Garage Door Service Company. What do you guys do?
Well, we install, service, and repair residential garage doors. From double-sized doors to single-car garage doors. We take care of the garage doors from A to Z. With service, we will come and maintain your garage door, make sure the door is properly balanced, make sure that the springs are working good, make sure that your hardware is good, make sure that the door is completely operating safe for your family. Installs from coming to measure your door, taking out the old door, taking it away, installing a new door. Everything about garage doors for your home, that's what we take care of.
How did you gentlemen get started with your business?
So what happened was I've been always looking for a business to either start or own for like the last 10 years. And then all of a sudden came across Michael Carr's Garage Door Service Company. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I would love to have a niche. And, it's always been a dream for me and my wife. So what we did was we looked on Biz Buy Sell, and that's always looking for Delco businesses because I wanted to stay local and this and that. And there it was. It kind of shined. I reached out for some information. By the time I knew it, I was signing papers. I was like, what happened?
Everything just happened so quickly.
Yeah, and then January 7th of 2022, I was like, all right, now we're business owners. Now what?
So you're a relatively new company. What can people expect when they work with you in Garage Door Service Company?
I would say service professionalism overall. As Mike mentioned, he purchased the company from Michael Carr. Michael Carr serviced this area for over 40 years. He built up a very reputable, good reputation. So our job now is to take what Michael Carr has built and expand on it. Maintain that service professionalism, and really be ingrained with our customer base.
Right. One of the biggest selling points for me was he never used an automated system. He always had an office manager answering the phone. So if a customer calls on an emergency or anything, if they're not getting our office manager, they're getting our voicemail. They're not getting an automated service that says, please hold until the next operator can get back to you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I like the sense of having a person-to-person conversation with everybody, and we're very responsive. And if we don't get back to you that day, it's definitely the next morning.
I get a sense from just your perspective right now, you guys like to keep it old school. You like to make sure there's a human being answering the call. You're not going to get overwhelmed with this. Not that it's bad, but I think one of the value and of a company and business that you have now acquired is that you get that person to person. You get that, hey, we've been there. We know what we're expecting here. This job is going to get done right. It's going to get done the first time. And, everything's going to be exactly the way we had contracted to do. Yes?
Spot on.
Yes, indeed. I mean, just to kind of piggyback on that, I mean, we keep contact reports on all of our customers. So, again, like I said, we have a personal relationship with all our customers. So if a customer calls that we haven't seen in 15 years and they have a problem with their garage door, I mean, we can actually go back 15 years and say, okay, well, last time we were here, this is what we've done. Okay, so now when we get there, we know exactly what to expect. We've been there before. They're familiar with us. We're familiar with them. And that's the, a big part of the service that we provide.
And as you know, as a realtor, when you sell a house and that new buyer comes in and they're like, well, what's going on with this door? And they call us because our sticker is literally hanging up right next to the door opener. When they call us, they're like, hey, something's going on with our door. And we're like, oh, yeah, the previous owner replaced this door in 08. Your opener was replaced in 15. And we can give them a basic history of that door, that opener, and what what services are needed or anything they expect in the future.
That is tremendously thorough. I don't have a garage at my house, but I now want to build one just so you can put in the garage door opener and everything else, the doors and all the shebang, right?
Exactly.
It would be our pleasure.
Yeah. And we can also build the doors for you.
Awesome.
We'll build a garage.
With what's going on in the world today, how are supply chain issues affecting what you guys do day to day? Are you seeing some of that relax? Are you still struggling with certain things?
Tremendously. One of the conversations I actually had with my office manager last week was stop using the excuse COVID. I understand, I think everybody is understanding that COVID was the sole proprietor of why our manufacturing, our raw material shortages are happening. But I think people are starting to be done with the excuse of, hey, it's COVID. But right now with inflation, raw material shortages, the delay with the manufacturers and the vendors, I mean, we were looking at 20 weeks for a full glass door for one of our clients. So it has been a tremendous impact on us, especially when LiftMaster shut down their manufacturing in May. We were trying to keep up with demand on openers, and it was pretty tough. And it got to halfway through June, and that's when we started feeling the pain. We had 5 customers call for openers, and we only had 4 left. And we're like, we got to get this order back. So let's go. And talking to the manufacturer, they're like, all right, well, we'll have more in this and that.
Yeah, I can say that it's actually has improved over, say, the last month and a half, where some of our lead times on doors and stuff from the manufacturers, it's gotten better, but it's not what it once was. Some doors you can get them in 2 weeks. Now that same door you can probably get it in 4 to 6.
I would imagine every day that's an additional challenge for you to run your business. Talk about, this is not even a year old for Garage Door Service Company. What have been some of those aha moments, those moments where you look at each other and go, this is awesome. We love doing this.
Well, I mean, Michael Carr's been in business for 42 years, so it was kind of just taking over an already established business. So it's not like we had to start from scratch, which was great. So we had the relationships built already, so that made it a lot easier. Obviously, there is a certain regression when you change the name, and but I kept the phone number, kept the website, or built the website, but I kept the email so that none of the communication changed with our customers.
Now, for you guys, I know as you were talking, Mike, you were saying, hey, we were looking for a business. We wanted to keep it Delco. What does Delco mean to you? What do you feel is that people say, well, that's Delco. What is it for you?
I guess it's like one big family. We fight, we party, we're different. But any disturbance to our community from outside our lines, and that neighbor that hates you is coming standing right next to you being like, dude, let's go to war. And that's what I like about the camaraderie around our neighborhoods.
I'm hoping war doesn't come to Delco, but I hear what you're saying. We're going to be here.
It's like a little analogy, And I would feel bad for people coming to war from Delco.
Calvin, how about for you? What's Delco mean for you?
Delco, I really feel the sense of community in Delco. Growing up in Philadelphia, I mean, I'm still relatively new. I've been out here now for about 5 years. I live in Drexel Hill. Coming from the city, where everything is hustle and bustle, everybody's fighting for elbow room, everything is in such a hurry. Coming out here was kind of a breath of fresh air to be around people that really have that sense of community. Hey, you're my neighbor. What can I do for you? And just everybody kind of, lending a hand to help out. That to me has probably been one of the biggest things that stood out.
That's awesome. You guys are driving around, you're running early, and you say, man, we need to eat before we get to this next stop. Where are you stopping for cheesesteaks?
Oh, cheesesteaks. Man,
I have not found that dedicated
I'd
spot.
actually go to the Providence Pizza right behind us.
Okay.
The new owner, she's really nice. She took care of me, and her steaks actually aren't that bad. They're packed full of meat. Solid roll. But if we're going cheesesteaks, I mean, you got to go to Philly.
But yeah, well, I will say this: Forno's Pizza,
okay,
in Drexel Hill makes a really, really good cheesesteak, comparable to any cheesesteak that I've had in Philly.
All right. So you had that cheesesteak. It's the next day, and you want to stop for a pizza. Where are you going in Delco for that?
Pica's
Pizza.
What?
See, you guys now look at this. You guys are going to make a special trip. This is like a Thelma and Louise moment for you guys.
Yeah, right. He lives in Drexel Hill. How do you not have Pica's?
Well, I mean, I've had Pat's. Pat's is really good. I've had Forno, of course. I mean, those two. I mean, between me and my wife, those two are, those are like the top two choices anytime we get pizza.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right. So I hope you guys can agree on this. Where are you going when you need, you're thirsty, you need to stop off at a convenience store? You choosing Wawa or Royal Farms?
Wawa, of course.
Wawa, yeah.
All right.
Wawa. I'm at Wawa every day. Sometimes
the relationship is saved between you guys, right?
Yeah. We're back. We're back to good.
So, talk about for both of you, what motivates you? What gets you guys out of bed every morning?
You start, because my answer is probably going to be longer.
All right. So obviously the family is what gets me out of bed and out of the house early, because once they wake up, it's all crazy. So as soon as I'm out of the house and, I don't see the craziness, I'm sure my wife will say, she's going to keep me at home now. But what gets us up every day for the business, I would say to make sure that, that doctor makes it to the office. So that he can make sure that his patient that needs to get back to work or back to whatever they're doing, because there's a domino effect. And every day, like if a doctor's stuck in the car stuck in the garage, we want to make sure that door is open for them that day.
Yes.
How about for you, Calvin?
It's dual. Number one, I kind of like this guy, so I want to keep his business going and growing. Like Mike was saying, it's important to me that that connection with our customers. The doctor that needs to get out, the fireman that needs to get to work, the policeman that needs to get to work, that they can rely on us to be there when they need us, provide the service that they need in a professional manner, and that they will always come back to us, whenever they have an issue. But personally, my motivation is actually my father. So my father had a garage door business in the city for 27 years. I grew up doing garage doors. I joke with people that I couldn't forget how to do this if I tried. But I kind of honor him in doing garage doors. It's something that he was passionate about, something that I'm passionate about. So I was really lucky to kind of fall into the situation that I'm in right now. But again, not just to honor my father, but, this is something that I really, really like doing. I really like, going into a situation, especially with a repair, kind of looking around, seeing what needs to happen and being able to rely on my knowledge to take care of the problem. It's my personal gratification every day.
That is tremendous. I mean, if you're not listening to this and getting that warm, fuzzy feeling, I really appreciate that. And what resonated with me so strongly is you guys just don't see this as it's a business. You guys see this as you're building relationships. You really see the steps down the road and honoring where you've come from, and whether it's taking over Michael Carr's business or honoring your father, that is so valuable. So thank you. Again, if you show up or somebody refers you to do that job, this is already what they know is coming along when you guys get out of the truck, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
that's awesome. How do people find you? How do people connect? How do people get to you guys so you can come out and take care of their garage door needs?
So it's we're in Clipper. We're in church bulletins. So that was what Michael Carr was doing. And then what we did was we built a website, www.mcsgaragedoor.com. And then we're on Nextdoor app. And then we're on Instagram and Facebook.
At Garage Door Services or on Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah, so Facebook is Garage Door Service Company. And then Instagram is MCS Garage Door.
All right. If somebody wants to kick it old school and pick up the phone and call you guys, what number would they use?
610-356-2902.
Is there anything you guys want people to know about Garage Door Service Company? Is there anything we haven't talked about on the podcast yet today?
I would say our 18-point service inspection that we didn't mention yet, but that is one of the best aspects that we offer. We recommend customers do it every 2 to 3 years. This way it keeps all your rollers rolling properly. Your springs are oiled. We basically do like a whole list of diagnostic on the door to make sure that you are in proper working condition for years to come.
And if I can just explain the importance of it, whether or not, people know that garage doors are actually the heaviest moving object on your home. So there is some sense of, they can be dangerous at times if they're not functioning properly. So that is the importance of having, a professional service come out, do an 18-point, tune-up service, make sure that your door is working properly so that, nothing terrible happens. Hopefully, never. Yeah. But if we're called or we're doing the service, we make sure that, your garage door is functioning properly. You don't have any worries.
If you're feeling that garage door is heavy, if your opener is a little sluggish, if you're hearing noises when the door goes up or down, any problems, give Mike Sage, Calvin Diggs, and Garage Door Service Company a call because, as you mentioned, and I learned something today, that is the heaviest moving object in your house. The last thing you want is any problem with that garage door. Gentlemen, thanks for being on the podcast today. Thanks for being a friend of What's Happening, Delco. We can't wait to hear all the great things with your business moving forward, and have an awesome day.
Rich, appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you.